Hello, next new video. Today we're going to take a look again at the Master League with a little bit of an interesting Pokemon. We're going to have another starter. Today we're going to have the Incineroar. Yesterday we already had a video about Greninja, and honestly that went way better than I expected. And I can say exactly the same about the Incineroar as well. Well, we're going to start off with a game where we had quite a lot of lag in the beginning, and lag is still definitely a factor in Go Battle League right now, which is quite mad considering that it is quite on a difficult road right now for the last, I don't know, like 2 months, I think. It is definitely a little bit annoying, but anyway, we're going to still be in a great matchup here in the beginning. We're going to have a team here of Landorus, the lead of Tapu Bulu, and in the back we're going to have the Incineroar. There's one issue for this team, which is going to be Ho-Oh leads, which is kind of a little bit annoying. If they say sub Ho-Oh or whatever, we have the Landorus still, which can always win the matchup, so like that's not really the biggest issue. But anything else can be a little bit of a trickier one for sure. Anyway, we're going to be able to align ourselves here, which is great. They're going to go back into the Kyogre, and we can go into our Tapu Bulu, which is not running the actual moveset of Grass Knot, but rather Mega Horn. Mega Horn is a tech move against Pokemon like the Necrozma here, which you're going to try to blast burn. And one thing about Incineroar compared to the Greninja is the bulk. We're going to be easily able to survive a move here from the opponent, and the same goes also for like any kind of move of the other form of Necrozma. And look at this, we were able to one-shot the opponent with a super effective Blast Burn. Moving on to the second battle, straight away against something like the Ho-Oh we're swapping out. We hope that they swap out straight away, which they do in this case, which is really good for us because like this, they only get like one fast move advantage on their Ho-Oh, which is cool. But we're still going to have one Pokemon in the back that can kind of deal with it. We see already Darkest Lariat did quite a lot of damage against Palkia as well. You kind of really can't underestimate the damage output of our Incineroar. So we're going to be able to now go ahead and try to go for the full farm down because there's no real reason for me to go for a charge move here. At least that's what I think right now. Because at the end of the day, the health on my Tapu Bulu doesn't really matter because we're going to get aligned against that Ho-Oh anyway. We have to hope that we kind of win the battle with the Landorus. And so we try to overfarm, quickly realizing that this is not going to work out for us, and we're rather going to go for a charge move here to try to knock them out. They're going to decide to go ahead and go into their Dialga very likely in the back. I think it was a Dialga. And we're going to be in a very bad spot. Like, we're literally on the worst possible spot that we could imagine. If they just use shields here, or if they even let the move go through and just use shields on that Ho-Oh, they're going to be able to just farm us all the way down. But weirdly enough, they decide to swap out into the Ho-Oh, allowing us to go ahead and go for a Sansear Storm. This will be enough to get the shield, and we still can survive one more Incinerate, allowing us to go for the Stone Edge, and they screwed it so up on themselves. Never seen a bigger throw than this, I feel like, because now Tapu Bulu, with all the shields left, is going to be able to actually still finish up this battle, which is quite mad. And just to insult the opponent even a little bit more, we just decided to go for the Mega Horn, which is of course resisted, but a lot of fun. So yeah, like usually recently I was throwing quite a lot of games as well, but it is not always the case. It's only me, but also sometimes the opponent also. Yeah, again, I actually had, I think, I played 2.5 sets with this team. First set, and like first actually like 7 games or whatever, I went insanely positive because I did not encounter a single Ho-Oh. And then for the final set I tried to play, I encountered like, I think 4 Ho-Ohs in the lead, back to back to back. I was like, algorithm getting me. Of course, I'm not believing into the algorithm there at all, but it is definitely still quite a little bit annoying to battle against exactly that one Pokemon the entire time that core breaks the entire team. Anyway, we're going to see the Dialga coming up. We're going to try to go back into our Tapu Bulu. We can let the move go through because, again, we don't really care too much about our health here. We just kind of want to get some energy, and we kind of want to get rid of the opponent's energy as well because we need to try to knock them out with our Landorus. But at this point, we have to kind of hope that they kind of mess up, I guess. I should have tried to go ahead and go for that Stone Edge here, but I decided to go for the bait. And this is quite a risky play because I think they should get to a Brave Bird in like one more fast move. And as they even let the move go through, this game is over. Best possible lead for us, and look at this. We can just completely wall off the Necrozma Dusk main form with our Incineroar, and look at the Blast Burn damage. Like, this is from a 3300 CP Pokemon, and we can still even take the opponent's hit as well, as we can fully farm them down. And with this, we might even be able to reach another move here on our Incineroar. Let's take a look at this one. Darkest Lariat is going to be reached, and this is going to do a ton of damage, as we saw already before, unless the opponent wants to use a shield here, which they do, which is quite nice for us, because now we can go back into our Tapu Bulu. They have their own Tapu Bulu Bulu in this game. You might think Mega Horn super effective grass type Pokemon. I'm fairly certain that bug typing is resisted by the fairy type, which honestly, like, I don't know why they did this, because I think at least that's the case, because at the end of the day, bug typing was already garbage before, and now it's even worse with the fairy typing. But as far as I know, it would be resisted, so we swap out here anyway. They go for the Solar Beam, a cool tech move, but like, what is it really doing for you? You were debuffed already, you're not going to be double debuffed in like both stats nearly, and we're going to be able to easily win this battle. Next opponent, again a great lead for us. Palkia in the lead is always lovely. As I swap onto the Velta, we kind of make a little bit of a misplay later on in this battle. I still remember this one, but maybe it doesn't matter. Who knows? We're going to be able to go for Nature's Madness, get them low, and go into our Incineroar. Here it's a guessing game. Do they have Oblivion Wing, or if they're going to have a Focus Blast here? Luckily it's Oblivion Wing, which we are going to be able to still survive, and here I make a mistake by going for that extra fast move. But I can use a shield onto the next Oblivion Wing here as I go for that Blast Burn against the opponent. I not charge it because I expect them to no shield, but they actually decide to use a shield, and so everything I just said doesn't really matter, because we are going to be able to guarantee alignment now as we are outspeeding the opponent by one fast move. We need the exact same amount of energy to get to our charge moves. We have the same fast move as well, and so we are going to be able to outspeed them here with the next one, and we can knock them out, but they catch the move onto the Palkia. Great play by the opponent. But hopefully it doesn't really matter. I make a little bit of a mistake here by staying in for a little bit too long. I was thinking that I might be better off like this. I guess if they're gonna go back into the Velta, I only need one fast move to get to my next charge move. But Broguiere is coming through, doing quite some decent damage actually. As we are going to let the next move go through as well, as we don't have shields. We just need one Nature's Madness to most likely knock them out here. But we're gonna overfarm to 100 energy because the opponent is one fast move away with a Velta to get to a charge move. And if they want to swap it back in here, I can just go straight for the charge move. And this is exactly what is going to happen now as well. And so I can go straight for the Nature's Madness, expecting the Evalta coming back here. And this is going to knock them out, and in the back it's going to be a Xerneas. And here's something weird is going to happen. We're going to be able to go for the Nature's Madness, which is all totally fine. But they are apparently CMP tying, but in a way where I was still able to swap out, and they just go for the close combat now. I did not know what was happening there. It doesn't matter in general, like it literally doesn't matter really, but it's still kind of mad though. Like I don't really know what happened there. Lugia in the lead. Like here are two options. Like if I had something different in the back, I would have most likely stayed in for a little bit because Dragon Tail is double resisted, so like that's kind of nice. But I would have needed something that resists the flying typing, and if we kind of take a look at our backline, there's nothing that can resist the flying typing. But you know what? I'm still not giving up hope here. We're going to have the Broguiere coming through from the opponent. We're going to bait a potential Stone Edge, which would knock them out. So we're going to still go for the Sensia Storm and get the shield from the opponent, which is quite lovely. As we try to reach another one, we're going to not lose CMP tie. I think we would win the CMP tie here, but they were just their one fast move earlier, as we can still go for another Sensia Storm, hoping to get another shield from the opponent, which we do. And so now it's down to us farming them all the way down with our Tapu Bulu, and down to our Incineroar as well at the same time. So what we're going to try to do here is we're going to go for the full farm now. I wait until they go for 2 charge moves, and then I might even swap out into my Incineroar, trying to get some extra energy. So let's see how this is going to go here. The opponent is going to be quite low already, and now I should be able to swap out as well. They should be out of energy. Broguiere coming through here as well, and we can go for the full farm down against the opponent as I swap back out into the Lugia. Darkest Lariat is going to hit them now for some super effective stab damage. Oh, look at that damage output here from a 3300 Pokemon against yeah, one of the bulkiest Pokemon that's even existing in Pokemon Go. I think it's the second bulkiest after Zygarde. It is quite mad. We are still going to be able to go for another Blast Burn here as well to do a lot of damage, not one-shotting them there, but we are still going to be able to fully farm them down, and look what they have in the bag. Huge mistake by swapping them, like basically Necrozma into us, because we're still going to be able to reach that Blast Burn, which is going to do so much damage. Look at this double Nature's Madness, no matter what they want to do. It's going to seal the deal. The Palkia coming in, gonna go down. The Necrozma coming in, gonna go down. And this is going to be a very good game. Look at what Incineroar did there. That was insane. The Zacian in the lead can be quite an interesting one. Back in the day, this matchup was actually way better. Why? Because back in the day, most people were running the the close combat plus the wild shot moveset there, but nowadays Play Rough is kind of the mandatory move to go onto this Pokemon, because everybody is running Zygarde, and Also, a lot of people are running just Palkia, and like for those Pokemon, it is quite good to have this move stored. And so like basically the secondary charge move usually is Wild Charge, because even without close combat, you're still going to be fine against Steel-type Pokemon with a Wild Charge / against Dialga with Play Rough. And so like it's not really a big thing to drop the close combat. So here we're just going to decide to let the move go through and try to get as much energy as possible with my Landorus. In comes again the Palkia, which is quite annoying because like this would have been great for our lead, but it's going to be fine because of the energy advantage. We are still going to have a very decent shot at winning this battle here, as we still try to go for another Stone Edge. This is going to be able to hopefully knock them out. Let's see, it's not going to be just enough. I tried to swap out, it didn't work out. And I decided to use a shield here because if there's going to be something in the back that we can deal with, we should be able to just go for the Sancier Storm now and hopefully win this battle based on that. But they of course use a shield here now. I'm gonna try to catch an Iron Head on my little Incineroar, which did not work out at all. This would have been so great if this would have worked out, because now Draco Meteor is going to hit. Draco Meteor is going to take us out, which is quite mad because I think I should have been actually able to get to another move there. But I can still at least go ahead, go for the Sancier Storm, get them quite low, but they're still going to farm me down. If I was able to hit like catch this Iron Head, I think I would have been fine. In the next game, we're going to have another horrible scenario here for us. Like, what is this? We have a Zygarde, we have a Ho-Oh, like literally the worst possible thing that could have happened to us. But maybe we can still come back from this. Let's find out here together. We're going to see the opponent going for very likely an Earthquake here at this point, as Earthquake is going to be able to knock us out. We can swap out back into the Tapu Bulu, which is a hard roll to any kind of charge move the opponent wants to go for. We go straight for the Nature's Madness because we want to get this debuff, because it doesn't even do 50% health of the opponent. And as you're going to see here, they decide to go for the Crunch, trying to drop my defense, which does not work out for them. I am going to be able to overfarm by quite a bit before we try to reach a Nature's Madness, which does not work out. They decide to go for another charge move here. It is going to be that Crunch again, as you can swap out into our Landorus. They go into the Palkia. My only hope here is to see that I can get a ton of energy here and hopefully hit a Stone Edge later on against that Ho-Oh. But it's going to be very, very difficult. We will see as well. And then we can use another shield against the opponent. It's going to be the Awkward Tail. I'm gonna try to bait them here again. I'm forced to go and bait the opponent here, as this is not going to work out at all. They're going to keep their shields for that Ho-Oh, which is fine because at least we're gonna get a ton of energy here now. Awkward Tail gonna get shielded again with 2 shields down, which is quite awkward. But for them, their safe play is to always go for a shield, because like why not? Like, why would they use something here and just like try to go for a no shield there if it could have been a Stone Edge? They're in a very good spot here right now. They don't have to risk anything. And so I decided to go for a Sancier Storm. I'm gonna wait out the clock here a little bit as well now, as the opponent is gonna still try to wait out the clock there as well, which is kind of nice for us. We can go for a Nature's Madness, drop their defense a little bit. They decide to go for a charge move. It's going to be their Sacred Fire, and with that we can still reach one more fast move to knock them out. If that Zygarde is in 1 mudshot range, we're still going to be able to win this battle. Is it going to be the case? Let's find out here. It's so close, and no, there's away with a 1 HP and a dream. The Zygarde in the lead is quite handy for us, as I swap out into Necrozma, and you know what's going to happen next. It is Incineroar time. Incineroar is going to be able to, take a hit here easily. Dark Pulse does nothing against us, which is quite mad. We can just go straight for that blast and look at that damage output, putting them into farm down range for us. And with this, we can just go ahead and go for Darkest Lariat against the opponent's, what's called Zygarde, complete form. Of course, going to be taking neutral damage, and look at this, actually does quite a lot of damage against the Zygarde, which is cool. We can try to reach another one, which is going to put them for sure in range, where just 1 charge move of Tapu Bulu is going to be enough to knock them out. And that's down to our final Pokemon. And here's the cool thing. I can always go for Nature's Madness and just drop the opponent's defense against whatever Pokemon is in the back here, the Landorus. And I can stay in for a little bit, try to catch a move here, and we're fine. We're going to use the shield here still because it's very likely the Stone Edge from the opponent. And we can now go for the bait because they need to keep the Landorus. If they don't have the Landorus around, they have a huge problem against that Tapu Bulu of ours, as everything is resisted from the Zygarde. And so they decide to use a shield on the Sancier Storm, which is quite nice for me. They decide to go for a Stone Edge, which is quite okay for me as well. I can go for my own Stone Edge, and now they're energy dry. They're going to be without any shields here, which is totally fine. And I can just rely onto my Tabu Bulu. As they swap out into the Zygarde, I can even go ahead and go for a Sandsear Storm, dropping the opponent's attack. They can go for an Outrage if they have this. Crunch doesn't knock me out, I think at this range. It's going to be the Outrage, going to knock me out. Or we can go for the full Farm Down, and as we're still going to have a shield left, this game is over. And this is going to be also it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one, because it was quite a lot of fun to play with that Incineroar. And yeah, I hope I see you then in the next video. And here we're gonna see as well, we're gonna go for the BM move, as well as we're gonna decide to no-shield a potential Stone Edge, which is even worse. And yeah, that's going to knock them out, and we can win this final battle. Very cool team, definitely worked out quite well for me, especially with Incineroar, and I see you then. Bye bye.